Gilg Jew, Gilg J as Gilg MORUS.
Shordu Claare na Gael, smiley am sure shaltacha. Welcome to this programme which is called Claare na Gael. My name is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Have you ever had tell of old Bobby Bob?
And in Claare na Gael there'll be part of it in the English language, as be Pert Eliagi Sagilg, and there'll be another part of it in the Manx Gaelic, Chinian Amera, the mother tongue of Ellen Vanning, the Isle of Man. As Banach and Jurish, well, we've been looking at the poetry of Barbara Cowley of Peel for a couple of weeks, but today, the 5th of May, saw the birth of T. E. Brown, Thomas Edward Brown, in New Bond Street, Douglas, in 1830, so I thought we'd hear some of his work in this edition of Claare na Gael. Tanolu Van Helsing and Fairleigh John Seward as Jonathan Harker furrachten se verglas gauglish the Osler Doris Tye Count Dracula ons Piccadilly, son and Sharon Godalming, Arthur Homewood as Quincy Morris. Ten over Gint as ten over Vergaelnish. We'll start with the work of T. E. Brown, his poem White Foxglove, which was set to music by FENELLA BAZIN, and Fenella herself plays the piano here to accompany Christine BREGAZZI. Tashu Geisjakrish, Stashun and Ashun, Radio Vanning, for Scholar Scalia Mach, Waidulish, Alien Vanning.
White foxglove by an angle in the wall, secluded door. No angry bees consult you. Such a dainty thing could give them ease. But what was that? Sudden a breeze from the foreland side, and you replied, quivering a moment with the
The voice of Christine BREGAZZI, accompanied on piano by FENELLA BAZIN, and Fenella it was who wrote the music to set that poem of T. E. Brown. Well, I had the great good fortune to see Dolan Kelly give one of his performances of T. E. Brown's Betsy Lee, a tour de force which he took to the Edinburgh Festival one year. In 1992, Charles Gard produced a recording of it for Manx National Heritage. It's now been made available again, and with a little bit of work done on it as well, on the Culture Vannin website, and which with thanks to the Kelly family, and indeed to James Franklin of Culture Vannin for the extra work he's done on it. We'll hear the opening of it now, and this is Dolan Kelly.
I said I would. Well, I hardly know. But a yarn's a yarn, so here we go. It's along of me and a lawyer's clerk. You've seen mayhap that sort of a spark, as neat and as pert and as sharp as a pin, with a mossel of hair on the tip of his chin, with his face so fine and his tongue so glib, and a saucy cock in the set of his jib, with his rings and his studs and all the rest, and half a chain cable paid out on his breast. Now there's different divils ashore and at sea, and a divil's a divil wherever he be. But if you want the real old mark, the divil of divils is the lawyer's clerk. Well, out it must come, though it be with a wrench, and I must tell you about a wench that I was a courtin' of. Yes, me, I. And her name, it was Betsy Lee.
Tref yn dynia yng ngol son sigaris, hai yn trwrgyn herish y red, as wrench yn crankle y dorus. Fe ffos le chilirach a Quincy Morris. Ljorishen van charn godalming na chadu was for the cigar. Tan inid sorrel choam door tana gouds henkshins jagan. Ve de jaru sorrel dam. Gurish chan chaval ons Carfax. As les je heel chonich ein skronneldun de ve de rauwe counter bij GWILYM in het ser de loer. Heishin ron de ronsige en tai. A shingen ulju tannacht en kujach al de berg saige son va fissain de rau nodge leger krautach ein de chorish. As gouds nish rau fissain ach fuddy de berg accounts a tai. Se chamber be, van a lai chauchulu jen halje, huishin haag kistjechen de oer. Haag kistjechen inrigen as na naijau, vashin de hira. Gerau een overein jint, as a berge jint arach, der a wege kistje kalt na Erdenheim. Now we've been hearing Welsh band Arlog, their back catalogue, for some weeks, and we're up to their fourth album now, with this song about the mining industry in Morgannwg, Can a Cardi.
Yn gaffarach a talcan yn ennill mwy na'n had. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Dymed nawr ac yn y man o bwrw melyn bach. Mae gen i fwy etnotydd, don bod i mi'n un dwb. A sledja mandral gwylod a 4 mandral gwt. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Cymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach. Rwy'n gallu cwto'n gwmws, rwy'n gallu cwto'n gam, rwy'n gallu holo tanno a tanw petar gram. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Cymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach. Mae gen i offer gweithio y bore yn y sir. Rwy'n newid dalu doeswyd am 2 o eingion tir. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Cymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach. Gorol a bon i blaen en fain, a chlwt i gario cwrlo yn batlu fel y draen. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Cymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach. Yn hiwsio cymaint o sepon a garryd blaig y byd. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Dymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach. Rwy'n ennill llaw o arian, a hein i gyd yn sgor. A pan daw mis o fale, rwy'n mynd a dŵr y môr. Gered y byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Dymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn byd i'r sawl a fyno, a finna'n llawen iach. Cymed nawr ac yn y man o gwrw melyn bach.
Welsh band Arlog with Can a Cardi, led by the voice of Geraint Glyn Davis. Hoiach doshil sin coolachan an oniag, Voor Jean Mach is close kiel leis lik chlai. Edin ben a stable. Va cummit de een gorish edin jeff tai fi weg. Hraun you gan onji, ma saw hrau ala in de bech slide Jean herish orin. Harenshin call tre rosh merenshin scrutige in de coir. Lesh na greinen vashin na chor lesh doselshin ad fairlug fair. As renshin corishad mor renshin corish na firelia shen sa chan chabal. Sbachtel dun ve na rauw account ege tre shen sa tai. As heishin roin de ronsige maar kujer bi beleshen. Lurk shilje bu en a shamer en elia, vain seller gesaluit. Renshin brunis de rause shamer vi va kujer bi, as voor die belesje county. As me so raushin toiach de scrutigi vi gerelach. Wat nin lai ons sorste vi reltjes daiach, boerd moer shamer bi. Van a bagen ons screwy benten den tai ons Piccadilly, ons Bart moer.
Now, most of you lads has had a spell of courting and that, and it's hard to tell, however a youngster comes to fancy, that of all the girls it's Ginny, or Nancy, or Mary, or Betsy that must be his'n. I don't know how it is or it isn't, but some time or other it comes to us all, just like a clapper shoot, or a squall, or a snake, or a viper, or some such dirt creeping under your shirt, and sliding and slipping right into your brace, and making you as you can't get brace, and it works till you feel your heart rising. God knows what it is, if it isn't poison. You see, we're a roughish set of chaps that's brought up rough on our mammy's laps, and we grow and we run about shouting and fooling till we gets to be lumps and fit for the school, and then we gets to know the marks and the signs, and we leaves the school, and we sticks to the lines, baiting and setting and hauling and that, till we know every fish from a whale to a sprat, and we gets big and strong, for it do make you stronger to row a big boat or to pull at a conga.
That's a band led by Irish flute player NUALA KENNEDY, originally from Dundalk in County Louth, but subsequently based in Glasgow, and she was a very welcome visitor with her band to Cruniach a few years ago. We'll hear more from NUALA KENNEDY later on. Siodiw stasiwn yn asiwn radio fanning a si Claare na Gael viscolar scalia ma cartnish, Meron Peen, Robert Gooding Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Did the other hear tell of old Bobby Bob?
Ten Claare Shaw a clash na a shacht and look jiggle a creela and chidgeert, a shen through dinner deg a radio vanning, lorish rai a craman agert, as esh rai enem a Claare and shen. Ten Claare a gedden yes more podcast, a shen, nasty through dinner deg a radio vanning, the through kierder and podcast elia, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Audible, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, na Alexa.
Then what with a cobbling up of the yawl, and a patching and mending the nets for the trawl, and a rising early and going to bed late, and a dreaming of scallops as big as a plate, and the hooks and the creels and the oars and the gut, you'd say there's no room for a little slut, but howsomever it's not the case, and a pretty face is a pretty face, and through the whole coil as bright as a star, a girl slips in, and there you are. Well, that was just the way with me, and the girl I'm speaking of, Betsy Lee. Ah, mates, it's wonderful too, the years you may live dead on end with your eyes and your ears right alongside of the lass that's going to be your sweetheart, and you never knowing. That's the way. For her father and mine was neighbours, and both in the fisherman line, and their cottages stood on the open beach with a nice bit of garden aback of them each.
For bargain and screwy bent in de kionach and a tyen on smile end as Bermondsey. Peber screwy, Kudigen, as pennen as do. Vadulju fillets jack ons peber soil tanna, de railad vine John. For skebedi on, yes. Skeban as kier, as podgel as melia. Van vers jerry shan kummel ustja solach, for gint rai, mar de bege lesh fool. Gera ulju va carnain beg de achran je de chulju horches woods, as gesolach de rawoods on na tyen elia. Trefashin a scrutiger its Jerry Shaw, hoorshin, as an charn godalming as Quincy Morris gin on noten girach je cochlain enmus na tyen sa hier as a jas, gauwad meru na achran ons dos moor, as haya drumbu da strain a kistjigen ons de boel Shaw. Tan huj elia gin, lesh creer be je surrens as fodmuj, few a chit backok, na chit de Count. Well, the jarro nishtashin jitgus toyacht and tras chabdulus feed as nim gold toyacht a sen, ons minute na gare. A Cornish singer, Brenda Wootton, performs one of the songs of Dick Gendel here. Dick changed his mind about his Cornish, so he talked about abandoning many of the songs he'd written, but of course they were so well written, so good, that of course they remain very popular. Well, Dick Gendel wrote almost 500 songs for Brenda Wootton over about 15 years, and a third of them were in Cornish, and that was one of them, Dus Tre, which I think may mean come home. As Masaw and Nachabdal Shaw as GWILYM an early Seward, and Tras le Jera Fowr. Van tre gin de ve fóda aglach houds vashin furchten godalming as Quincy Morris, chit. Hug an all away ber kummel en inchin avi, Joris gin a wimidje ulju and tre. Dod mi fagen an or for roilegge, Joris na shillichen buurel jadi vi kiauw nish haker. Tan dunje bach bait ons trias, vis aglach de hagen. Raer ve na dunje girach as gien de ve manre, lesh edin ledger egg, ledden de vrie, as lesh volt don dorge. Jew. Te na chan dunje chont shang, as tan volt benegge, fregertach de koei den fregertach de koei den a soelien jaget laste hegge, as krapligen scoot eg trimjes en edinegge. Sledden ten briegge force, de jaro te gurish lodder bio. Fuddy de be force a sawil te zegge, son me visulju gold de mai. Neer gimmerke true tre a vichreich jail. Neer esch ons denjach duste riech, ges ridden riech away.
You know the way them houses is fixed, with the pigs and the hens and the children mixed, and the mothers go round when the nights begin and whips up their own and takes them in. Her father was terrible fond of flowers, and his garden was twice as handsome as ours. A mortal keen eye he had for the varmin, and his talk was always of planting and farming. He had roses hanging above his door, uncommon fine roses they was, to be sure, and the joy of my heart was to pull them there and break them in pieces on Betsy's hair. Not that Betsy was much of a size, at the time I mean, but she had big eyes, so big and so blue and so far asunder, and she looked so solemn. I used to wonder. That was all, just baby play, knocking about the boats all day, and sometimes a lot of us taking hands and racing like mad things over the sands. Ah, it wouldn't be bad for some of us if we'd never gone further and never fared worse, if we'd never grown up and never got big, if we'd never took the brandy swig, if we was skipping and scampering and capering still on the sand that lies below the hill, crunching its grey ribs with the beat of our little pattering naked feet, if we'd just kept childer upon the shore for ever and ever and evermore.
The great kinds of unfree. Marching no hoscail the vheola. No duishing magana tonally. Tain that the gobber salina is fear. Aquishin beam on Southern Italy, marching no hoscail the vheola. Oh, Gunter Gadangere, Margoshali. Cause you come, Kawakam, Bucket to Cat Catcher, Brave on all the Catcher.
A song in Irish, lyrics by Neil Tobin, music by Jim Doherty, Na hoscail de bheola, Don't Open Your Lips, sung by the group We4, a GWILYM single from 1968.
Now the beauty of the thing when childer pleases, the terrible, wonderful length of days is. Up you jumps and out in the sun, and you fancy the day will never be done. And you're chasing the bumbies, humming so cross in the hot sweet air among the goss, or gathering bluebells, or looking for eggs, or pelting the ducks with their yellow legs, or a climbing and nearly breaking your skulls, or a shouting for devilment after the gulls, or a thinking of nothing but down at the tide singing out for the happy you feel inside. That's the way with the kids, you know, and the years do come and the years do go, and when you look back, it's all like a puff, happy and over and short enough. Well, I never took notions on Betsy Lee, no more did she, I suppose, on me, till one day, digging upon the sand, Gibbons, of course, you'll understand, a lad that was always a cheeky young sprout began a-pulling a Betsy about, and he worried the wench till her shoulders were bare, and he slipped a knot of her beautiful hair, and down it come, as you may say, just like a shower of golden spray, blown this way and that by a gamesome breeze, and a rip rippling down to her knees.
An dunne bach, bha mi smunion der ouwe burre empien ult de loer, ach shen eggessen. Ta vis mij de loer eggen alloe saw, as te jinno a goed shed de gummelde inchen egge abi. Na wei de grey, we shen se steed morte, braus im oil. Gemai is de kunjen em shoch Tammy an jonus du deres, rish as fos rish, nearest ren a chitkas malawen, uljun a peber en benten den weeshaw, as na smooth as du deres a ragent em, na smooth he jane de way a fame je cord de bollach fo choshe. Uljun in drood ta monach en jane acht he gullerai, gen inrichen sa vooregge, ach sa tusje egge jay. Maar en mi ginzige, wij ronzigen machade Arminus as Budapest, se weege ween a wunjes jindesi. Zijdoor, verkrine en steed, as alchemigach, as een vers jerry shen en tusje surge jen sheens, ren bischige se treeges en heen. kiaull as Britain de Jarrow Jean Baron and Christian ANNEIX. Stasiwn yn asiwn sien radio fanning sé Claare na Gael ten y Claare show. Sé Robert gytyn Corfalton yn y MORUS, Robert y Carslach mata.
Have you heard tell of owl Bobby Bob?
Fa hinsyn fi bai ega. Insach gyn casola, as cri, nach nionde va al na aris. Fa dennis ega, de we Count Fenish a skolomans. As charau banglen tusje a ling ega nach dugge eber. Wel, onsen ran poerigen na hintjen tannacht en aan look best na kurpe. Gede wel gien na rauwe kunjen de bollig sledden. Ons kiest de groen en agne ter wij as te wegacht na feitje. Ach, te ges, as de kiest de ridden wa peitjach ege toiach nish James Woods dunje. Te junu praultus, as te junu de maia. As bij der en tacher der en shingen chit en reidige, weg fos, as fully de beer fos, maar wishin feliel, an na ferbis grenige, kant na de greturen. As signed en red okli jail trud bes, gane trud bjoos. Ren haker sachel as doorte. As de shaw olju, courage, naim a veen. A krein achte ginu prowlus, fyddi de ginu fis coonally in de chormawe.
I looked at Betsy. Oh, dear, how she stood a-quivering all over, and her face like blood, and her eyes all wet with tears like fire, and her breast a-swelling higher and higher, and she gripped her sickle with a twitchy feel, and her thumb darted out like a coil of steel, and a cloud seemed to pass from my eyes, and a glory, like them you'll see painted sometimes in a story, breathed out from her skin, and I saw her no more, the child I had always thought her before, but wrapped in the glory and wrapped in the hair, every inch of a woman stood panting there. So I ups with my fist as I was bound, and one for his knob, and knocks him down. But from that day by land and sea I loved her. Oh, I loved her. My Betsy Lee. It's a terrible thing, is love, did you say? Well, Edward, me lad, I'll not say nay. But you don't think of that when the young heart blows leaf by leaf, coming out like a rose, and your sheets is slacked off and your blood is a-prancing, and the world seems a floor for you to dance on. Terrible, eh? Yes, you're right. But all the same, it's God's own light.
This now is a track from the recently released album by Claare VOOAR, Hi Ho Hum.
loving, obeying, to having to hold, to shouting, to throwing, to slapping, to scold.
VOOAR and their version of the Manx traditional rhyme, Hi Ho Hum.
Ah, there was something worth loving in her, as neat as a bird and as straight as a fir, and I've heard them say when she passed by it was like another sun slipped into the sky. Kind to the old and kind to the young, with a smile on her lip and a laugh on her tongue, with a heart to feel and a head to choose, and she stood just 5'4" in her shoes. Oh, I've seen her look. Well, I'll stop it. Oh, I've seen her turn. Well, then, drop it. Seen, what? All under the sod, the darling lies now. My God. All right, me lads, I shipped that sea. I couldn't help it. Let be. Ah, them courting times. Well, it's no use trying to tell what they were, and time is flying, but you know how it is. The father pretending he never sees nothing, and the mother mending or a-gripping the Bible and a-spelling a text, and a-eyeing us now and then over her specs. Oh, they were a decent enough pair, them two. If it was only with them I'd had to do. Bless me, the larned he was in the flowers, and how he would talk for hours and hours about digging and dunging and weeding and seeding, and sometimes a bit of a spell at the reading.
Te ve oliwen tre dreger an hollow near as renne chit, Gino prowelus Jane Furega, the mall ach the sugar. The inchen peche moere egge, ve gavrige, Maier en son te houds nish, inchen peche. Son, de berg Dennis we egge, de choreeb shart hansteridden, Wege we fode de henne, as vroschen de poere genijn. Ach, te kereel ridden de gitlesh. As voor die dunje, as de gieten de vlinten rosh surrel de orchten as de golde mol. Voor die de mai, fest in a lente we a jaru reege. Genelle chitliam tikkel doet hagre de denach, bien a spachtel dus, voor die de wel trias as burra ginu mol me enien. Hug en allu a laude meich hulen, gauws lore. Me feitje, nien bim bachtel. Ne velu fagen en nacht gerrig, de wel een vrouwtje snuistjags tusje true proweltus. Now, this is the title track of an album by Welsh singer GWILYM MORUS, who's driving in the night through the cocoon city past the lights of the shops shining. This is the song Traffig. GWILYM Morris and his song Traffig. An acht te an nunawimid jen surrensach zo fegach de chasnen trail stiach ons tyden gara John. Son, signed and su de followhead, ni ai de kinjach na san me de body chit treer be ons achter be bailish, toyacht kasnen trail sinrichen tret a quirra ersen, de jinushen, by pecher be sty.
And Betsy and me sitting back in that chimney, and her a clicking her needles so nimbly, and me looking straight in old Anthony's face, and a stealing me arm round Betsy's waist. Oh, the shy she was. But when Anthony said, "Now, childer, it's time to be going to bed," then Betsy would say, as we all of us riz, I wonder what sort of a night it is, or never mind, father, I'll shut the door. And shut it she did, you may be sure, only the way she done it, you see, I was outside. But so was she.
Dolan Kelly's recording of T. Brown's Betsy Lee, available now on the Culturvanin website, and today is the anniversary of the birth of T. Brown, the 5th of May, 1830. In just a few minutes, Chris Pearson will be here with the best in chill-out music for your Sunday evening, 7 till 9. At 9 o'clock, Judith Lay will be here with Sundown. We close Claare and Gael with more music by NUALA KENNEDY. Shenanish, as we saw. Until the next time then, this is Robert Cutting Carswell, Robert a Carslach.
Old Bobby Bob.
Wishing you a very good night. Eve, I'm a chrieriu, as orserlier, as me yiri and shared you will you.